Officially, Chrisean Rock is no longer with us. She is currently dating someone else, and to be honest, she appears to be much more concerned with maintaining her peace these days. After all of the public drama, tumultuous back and forth, and that never-ending roller coaster with Blueface, she seems to have finally declared, "That's it, I'm done." Blueface, of course, isn't taking it well. Rather than displaying any indications of development or maturity, he has returned to his usual behavior. He has been trying to play the victim, making subtle jabs at Chrisean's new relationship, and posting clever little remarks all the time, as if he hadn't humiliated her in public for months. Even if he is still engaged to Jiden Alexis, or at least acts as though everything is all right, he still finds time to obsess on Chrisean's next move, which only makes matters worse. It seems as though he can't bear the thought of her moving on and not being pressed over him. Let's now discuss Chrisean's discovery of a new feel and Blueface's recent outbursts on the internet, which seem to be reminiscent of 2022. Tadian Newton is the new man Chrisean is falling for. And no, he's not just a rapper or clout chaser attempting to capitalize on her popularity. Tadian is a dedicated basketball player who avoids drama and is a true collegiate athlete. After years with someone who thrived on disorder, Chrisean feels a totally different energy. At last, she's finding a guy who doesn't care about making headlines. A few weeks ago, the first indications of their link appeared. After fans noticed, Chrisean and Tadian cuddling up at a coffee shop, they were photographed on a double date, having the time of their lives like any other couple. No entourages, no staged paparazzi photos, no huge flexes. Simply quiet, subdued energy. To be honest, it was a huge hit. It seemed different to see Chrisean with someone calm and drama-free after everything she had to cope with in public. She even went live, revealing just enough to prove that she wasn't hiding him. She appeared to be in a better emotional state, and to be happier and more at ease. Blueface, meanwhile, has expressed how deeply he feels. Blueface unfollowed her on Instagram when the second video of Chrisean and Tadian went viral. However, it didn't end there. Despite being incarcerated at the moment, he manages to monitor her. According to reports, he has been monitoring Chrisean's activities and staying online while incarcerated by utilizing burner phones. According to people familiar with the matter, he has been envious, angered, and obviously disturbed by her moving on. And it's crazy, to be honest. After everything he did to her, he's angry because she's happy. He most likely believed that he would always be able to control her, that she would always run back to him. It obviously touched a nerve, though, to see her post up with someone new. Even his sporadic tirades on social media from prison have recently come across as a little sour. Despite his best efforts to appear unconcerned, he is clearly not. The family then enters with an unexpected twist, just when it seemed like all the drama would remain on the internet. Here comes Carissa, Blueface's mother. If you have been following their journey, you are aware that she and Chrisean have a significant falling out, as evidenced by years of tension, physical altercations, and nasty remarks. People therefore thought Carissa would criticize Chrisean or remain silent when word leaked out about their new connection. Rather, she surprised everyone by endorsing it. She expressed her support for the new couple on the internet, writing that she was glad to see Chrisean finding peace and moving on. She even asserted that Chrisean is entitled to proper treatment. Everyone was trembling at that moment. It's clear how terrible things must have gone with Blueface, because Carissa publicly backed Chrisean after everything that transpired. She seemed to acknowledge, without ever stating it aloud, that he was never a good fit for her. And now, softly, sweetly, and according to her own terms, Chrisean may be winning at last. Some people even believe that Carissa's endorsement of Chrisean has less to do with her sincere affection for him and more to do with making subtle fun of Sun, who has been obviously struggling for a while. In any case, it was widely shared online and only served to further degrade Blueface's reputation. But wait, some began accusing Chrisean's new relationship of being phony, while many others were out here rejoicing in her makeover. Let's hear what the streets have to say. The internet had a lot to say when Chrisean and Tadian first appeared on the blogs. On the one hand, her admirers are praising her and declaring that is the most joyful and serene moment they have ever witnessed her in. People are pointing out that Blueface's toxic roller coaster energy feels quite different from Tadian's attitude. They believe that Chrisean is at last awakening, making her own decisions, and beginning a new chapter in her life. Chrisean smiling, without chaos around her, protect this peace at all costs. one commenter even said. Then there are the skeptics. They don't believe the fairy tale at all. Many people believe that this relationship is just a rebound, possibly even a small amount, of payback. In their opinion, the timing is a bit too convenient. After Blueface is imprisoned, a new man appears out of nowhere, complete with Instagram lives, coffee shop hangouts, and a big smile. They believe that rather than really recovering, Chrisean may be acting a little too quickly, perhaps in an attempt to send a message to Blueface. "Don't jump into another relationship just to flex," one person even commented. "Pay attention to yourself and your child." Furthermore, Chrisean has a track record of rushing into relationships. Remember how quickly things got out of hand with Blueface? It was always full speed forward, from meeting him at the Blue Girls Club, auditions to becoming his ride or die in a matter of weeks. Therefore, some people are genuinely supporting her, while others are being careful. They want to know if this new romance is real, or if it's simply another episode of her erratic behavior. And listen, there are a ton of old receipts that need to be reviewed before we declare Chrisean and Tadian the new it couple. You have to travel back in time to see why people are being cautious in this new relationship. At the ordeal she had with Blueface, he launched right out of his house, was the catalyst for it all. Chrisean's fierce loyalty and exuberance made her stand out right away. Their situationship quickly became really messy. Not just between her and Blueface, but with his whole family, there were real fights. Hands were flung between his mother and sister, and it all came out in a messy and public way on social media. The notorious public episodes followed. After taking Blueface's vehicle, Chrisean was taken into custody. Video footage showed inebriated fights. The reality show on the Zeus network was directly affected by the chaos. Each episode seemed like a brand new chapter filled with excessive drama, heartache, and violence. Then, the story of the pregnancy began. Blueface immediately went online to dispute paternity once Chrisean said she was expecting. He publicly humiliated her and insisted on DNA testing. They continued their destructive cycle of violent battles interspersed with brief periods of peace. Not to mention Blueface's personal legal troubles and jail time. There has been constant turmoil between them for years, and their history is lengthy. Because of this, people are reluctant to think Chrisean can simply change the course and go on as if nothing happened. It takes time for a complex past to go away, even with someone like Tadian. It is therefore not surprising that some are questioning if this purported new beginning will actually last. Believe me though, there's more tea simmering in the background. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. That concludes today. See you at the following one.